Welcome, everyone, to today's Explainer. I am beyond excited to unpack a truly intricate and honestly just a fascinating power structure from the card Apprentice daily log. Today, we're focusing entirely on the Grimoire power system, which is absolutely the backbone of this entire world. We're going to be looking at how someone climbs from a powerless mortal all the way to an absolute world-breaking powerhouse. So get ready, because this system is beautifully precise and the details are absolutely captivating.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. We'll hit 1. What is a grimoire? 2. The grimoire grading system. 3. Talent and soul control. 4. Grimoires versus ego gems. And finally, 5. The apex, unranked grimoires.
Starting right at the beginning, Section 1. What exactly is a grimoire? Let's lay the foundation.
Now, when you hear the word grimoire, you probably picture, some old, dusty spell book sitting on a wizard's shelf. But in this world, no way. It's a literal medium used by a card apprentice to form a contract with the world's will so they can borrow its power. Grimoires represent literally everything here: status, power, wealth, the whole shebang. They're an apprentice's livelihood and their primary weapon. Whether you're creating a new card or fusing existing ones together, the grimoire is absolutely crucial at every single step. Without it, you are entirely cut off from the world's magic. Think of it kind of like the ultimate operating system for reality. Without the hardware, you simply can't run the software.
So, how does it actually function mechanically? Well, step 1, the apprentice uses the grimoire to establish that contract with the world's will. Step 2, once that's done, this contract grants the apprentice access to what are called soul pathways. Basically, it's this invisible underlying network of power in the world. And step 3, the apprentice utilizes this borrowed power through cards. As the character Anne perfectly explains it, they aren't born with this power at all. They're just channeling the world's soul pathways into cards via the grimoire. It's an incredibly elegant intermediary system.
Moving right along to Section 2, the Grimoire grading system, looking at the specific Grimoire tiers.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer mathematical precision of this hierarchy. If you skip the basic iron tier, which is just what mortals use, the true apprentice journey starts at bronze. That limits you to common cards and a 40-star capacity. But look at how perfectly it scales up. Silver doubles it right to 80 stars, gold hits 120, platinum reaches 160, and the legendary diamond grimoire caps out at 200 stars. These strict numerical tiers govern every single aspect of combat and progression. I mean, you physically cannot equip a card that exceeds your grimoire's grade. So why bust your back fighting so hard for a higher grade? Well, the combat advantage is absolutely massive. A higher grade grimoire obviously lets you equip higher ranked cards, but it also makes cultivating your active soul control significantly faster and way more efficient. Like, we see the protagonist, Wyatt, using a silver grade grimoire really early on to equip C rank cards. That lets him just effortlessly defeat peers who are technically in higher realms. Why? Simply because his superior grimoire bypasses normal combat restrictions. He has access to much stronger tools. It's a massive tactical advantage.
Which naturally brings up an obvious question. Why doesn't everyone just start with a diamond grimoire? Well, this quote from Anne lays it out perfectly. She says the creation of the highest grade grimoire for everyone was impossible as it was expensive and it was a waste of resources. The ancestors who actually set this whole system up realized that, frankly, not everyone would have the persistence or the talent to hit those highest ranks. Handing out diamond grimoires to everyone would completely drain the world's precious resources. So this deeply tiered system, it was born out of pure calculated necessity.
Let's move on to Section 3, Talent and Soul Control. Time to look at climbing the ranks.
So, your grimoire's progression is heavily dependent on your active soul control. Mortals, they sit at less than 10%. But once you cross that 10% threshold, you become a card student, and you can officially contract a bronze grimoire. Reach 40% and you're a card master. Hit a full 100%, you are a card demigod. And the math here is fascinating. Exactly 1% of active soul control equals exactly 2-star soul power. So every single percentage point you grind for mathematically translates directly into tangible combat power.
But, not everyone grinds at the exact same speed. That comes down to innate talent, which is measured in aptitude. Let's say you have common talent, which is 2 aptitude. You've got to climb the ladder step by step. But higher aptitudes literally allow you to leapfrog the system. A rare talent can jump straight to a gold grimoire, and a mythic talent Packing an incredible 10 aptitude, they can attempt to contract a Diamond Grimoire right from the starting line. Your innate talent completely dictates the ceiling of your early potential.
Of course, jumping the line like that makes you a huge target. We see this brilliantly illustrated through Wyatt. When he advances his grimoire to the gold grade, he actively camouflages it to look like a silver one whenever he's in public. And why is that? Well, in a society where grimoires dictate your wealth and status, flashing a high-grade grimoire when you don't have the heavy backing to protect it, that just invites deadly envy. It's a fantastic character detail that highlights the very real, very dangerous socioeconomic realities of this power system. Let's move to lore and see how this builds into an even deeper layer of world building.
On to Section 4, Grimoires versus Ego Gems. These are the parallel systems.
And this brilliantly illustrates the duality of a card apprentice's true power. It's kind of like two sides of a coin. While grimoires give you access to the world's soul pathways and are utilized through cards, ego gems give you access to the world's rules and are utilized through runes. One is a medium for external pathways, the other requires solidifying your own spirit to communicate with the world's will and understand its fundamental rules. To be a true top-tier fighter in this universe, you can't just rely on your grimoire. You have to master both of these parallel progression systems.
So, we know the strict tiers, right? We know the math, we know the limits of the card world's rules. But it begs a really thrilling question. What actually happens when a grimoire just breaks the rules of the world entirely? Like, what exists beyond Diamond?
Let's look at Section 5, Unranked Grimoires, the absolute apex.
Enter the Unranked Grimoire. This is a grimoire that has completely and utterly shattered the established system. It's freed entirely from the card world's rank and realm limitations. Wyatt actually achieved this impossible tier with his starry grimoire through contact with something called the Breath of Erosion, which is a force capable of refining absolutely anything. This miraculous upgrade basically turned his grimoire into an absolute anomaly. It breaks all the rules we literally just spent this explainer learning about.
So, the crucial point is just how world-breaking this tier actually is. Because it's unbound by those standard limits, an unranked grimoire can equip cards crafted from ruler-class ingredients, and those are far beyond the world's normal power scaling. It can hold unranked item cards, like corpse puppets, that actually possess fully awakened learning spirits. Plus, it is breathtakingly rare. Across all the known lore, there are only 3 known to exist in the entire world. Wyatt's, one belonging to a character named Redfall, and an ancient first one. It just completely outclasses the Diamond grade.
Which leaves us with this final, truly staggering thought. The entire premise of a grimoire, the whole foundation, is forming a contract to borrow power from the card world's womb. But as Wyatt senses the origin source directly and starts gaining true independence, his unranked grimoire reflects a terrifying yet awe-inspiring truth. Think about it. If your grimoire borrows power from the world, what happens to you and what are you capable of when you outgrow the world itself? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I hope you found this system as brilliantly crafted as I do. Keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.